2025, men and women couldn't be more different.
Male friendships are just superior to female friendships in every which way.
So if you have a good friendship group full of women, I'm talking maybe 4+, for me that's a taboo.
People say women and friendships over the silliest reasons, which can sometimes be true.
That's it. It's official. I have no friends anymore.
What happened?
Is everything okay?
Tanya didn't wish me a happy birthday.
That's it?
Because it's like, why are you pretending to be my best friend when you secretly hate me, can't celebrate my wins, you don't like my posts? Like, what is this? I wish every girl didn't have to go through that because it's traumatizing.
Or people will say how, female friendship, there's just too much drama. This can also sometimes be true. Yet, when I heard that men can be friends with each other, however, not even know each other's birthdays, I was genuinely shocked.
The homies, I don't know their birthday until the day of, straight up. And nobody cares, it's no big deal.
Or how some men will, be playing FIFA, they'll know each other for years, but not know each other's favorite movie or favorite color. I was like, what is actually going on? I asked you guys on Instagram and on YouTube, what are some of the biggest differences between male and female friendships? And I kind of wanted to unpack some of them in this video. Hey, if you're new, welcome to the cozy corner of the internet. I'm your host, Christina, and I help people stop shrinking and start living. One of the biggest difference that kept on showing up whenever I asked you guys was actually like shared hobbies. Male friendships tend to center around having a shared hobby, a shared activity, playing games together, playing a sport. Purely anecdotal as an outsider looking in, but I feel like guy friendships are more about existing around one another with a shared interest. They develop bonds and attachment, but not very deeply. It kind of looks all fun, but little substance, if I'm being honest. My guy friends have told me that they practically know nothing about the other guys in their friend groups, but they hang out nonetheless. This is so interesting to me as a girl who has mainly girlfriends, and I know almost every detail about their lives. Like every detail that they're willing to share. Like I know all about them, their job, where they live, where they want to live, what they want to do in their job. I know all about their partner, how long they've been with their partner, if they're happy with their partner, what them and their partner like talk about, what them and their partner's plans are. Like I actually can't imagine being friends with someone that I don't know a lot about their personal life. Because the way I see it, like as a girl, they are your friend because you talk about these things. So when you take that away, I'm like, how did you become friends? Girlfriends, in my experience, are a lot closer to one another. They share personal parts of themselves and also enjoy company of one another. These are also a lot of fun, but do have more real talks. It's fun and substance. Girlfriend groups tend to keep each other more honest and tend to call each other out on things. That's why they tend to last less than male friendships. This is a good point because I see people talking about this all the time. Like, name me, a female friendship group that's lasted longer than 10 years.
Male friendships are stronger than female friendships.
Same.
By far.
My God.
By far.
I've heard women say some shit about it.
Show me 5 female friends that have been friends for 15 years.
Can't. I don't know. I can't do that.
I actually don't know.
Even in like movies, it can't even happen. It's just break up at the 15 type.
Bro, yeah, these are talks.
You got friends for 15 years?
15, 5.
You a liar.
No, but it's just different scenario. Take 5 friends on a boys trip and a girls trip. These 5 boys, the boys are gonna come back, I think, a little bit healthier than the girls. Because if something happened, like you told me it was a girl math. What was it?
Girl math, bro. They go on vacation with 5 friends and come back with 2.
Yeah,
Because
arguments. Yeah.
one of them buys a early flight because she can't stand one of them. One of them find a man, go to the Airbnb, and one of them just disappears, bro. Come back with 2. I don't know. And then at the birthday party the next year, bro, you got 5 different girls. Not even the same friend. Like, it's just...
And don't get me wrong, like, I feel like as a girl, yes, you can cut people off over, like, little things. Or you can maybe, I don't know, do we actually cut people off over little things? Like, I feel like as a woman, you'd naturally cut someone off, or you'd think about it, if, like, things feel fake, things feel forced, you feel like she doesn't like you, she's disrespected you too many times, or just you're not enjoying the friendship. That is a good point. Male friendships lack emotional depth, but are less emotionally taxing. Female friends tend to be very complimentary and extremely supportive, though at times it may be slightly fake or exaggerated. Whereas observing my male friends, in a lot of their conversations, they tend to jokingly make jabs at one another and sometimes even try to one-up each other. From what this comment describes, it kind of sounds like male friendships are kind of like low commitment, low investment and low expectation. Whereas with my female friends, like, I don't want to say it's high commitment, but like, I don't know, to me it feels like the bare minimum. That's why I'm so confused. Like, if you can't come to a certain like dinner we're doing because like you're literally busy, you're literally at work, or you literally don't feel well, like, cool, fine, totally okay. It's crazy that, to me, that's normal, but to think that that's not even a requirement for men. I think, to be fair, this comment said that men can hang out with someone that they don't like and it's no problem. Yeah, to be fair, now it's actually kind of clicking. I do feel like so men's friendship sounds a bit more low commitment. Like there's not as much loyalty. Is that the right word? I almost get the vibe that it's just like, it's not that deep. It's whatever. Like it's just a bro. It's just a guy. It's just a friend. Like it's not that deep. Whereas for women, I think it is that deep. I've noticed that men take things less to heart, so they tease each other more boldly, but women are very careful of how what they will say will affect their friend. The downside of men's bold jokes is that sometimes they cross the line and hurt their friend's feelings without realizing it, while the downside of women's cautions is that sometimes they overthink too much and aren't able to truly strengthen their friendship and live in the moment. Women are really cautious of feelings. That is actually a stone cold fact. I almost think because we're so cautious of our friend's feelings or of the person's feelings, it's why we might come across as fake. Like, I don't know, for example, when I've been in a fake friendship, whether I've been the person, like, it's normally because I don't really know how to say something without rocking the boat, and I'm like, let me think about how to say it. I'm overthinking how to say the right thing, and before I say the thing, I guess beforehand, I am being fake because I'm still talking to the person. I'm just like planning what I'm going to say. Whereas for guys, it's teasing, the bold joke is a natural part of the friendship. So I guess you don't really care about saying the wrong thing. Women seem to tiptoe around their friends, often out of the fear of losing them, because women let their friends go easily once they feel like the bond is broken. Teasing builds a stronger bond, but only when done within the parameters of your friend's comfort. And both genders seem to have different ideas of how to navigate that. I would agree. I think a strong friendship is born out of being open and honest and, without fear of hurting the person's feelings. Because the reason why I feel like I'm more comfortable hurting someone's feelings or like just being blunt now is because I know that feelings are going to be hurt inevitably. Like whether I say something, whether they say something, whether, I don't know, something happens at work, like your feelings will be hurt. It might be me today. It might be me hurting your feelings. It might be your colleague hurting your feelings, but like you're not bubble wrapped. Like you can't go through life with, a shield and armor. Like you are going to have your feelings hurt at some point. And if I need to say something and drop a bomb, like I'm just going to drop the bomb. Guys don't hold grudges. Like they'll talk to each other even after the biggest fight ever. I've seen this so many times, and I know it's a stupid example, but I've seen this so many times on Love Island. Like I've seen two boys argue about something, probably over a girl, but they'll have a chat, they'll have one of those man hug things, and then they'll just swiftly move on like nothing has happened. And the thing is that is so rare for girls. Like if we argue over a guy, over anything, even if we are civil afterwards, even if we move on, there is a residual part of me that's like, but we had that one argument that one time. You just can't let it go, and you're not holding a grudge anymore, but it's in the back of your mind. Like it's an extra piece of like color on the paint that is their portrait. Like you just see them with a bit more detail now. After that argument, it's added thread to the fabric. Like, does it make sense? Like it's added to who they are. That argument. I'm a girl who had been in a group of boys as the only girl, and been in a group of toxic girlfriends, and a group of girls of good friendships. Boys feel jealous of other boys too, but they have acceptance that the other boy is better than them, and they move on. This is interesting because I feel like female jealousy can ruin a friendship. Like, again, because we don't really talk about things, like we hold resentment because we want to keep the peace. If say Amanda is jealous of Becky because Becky's smashing it at school, she's got gorgeous hair, she's living life. Amanda's jealous of Becky and they're friends. Becky is going to pick up on that sooner or later. Like, I don't know, something about female jealousy, like you can smell it. Like you might not notice it straight away, but over time, comments that Amanda makes, each time Becky smashes her next exam and Amanda doesn't celebrate her like she used to, she just kind of glares at her, like doesn't say well done. Like you're going to pick up on the jealousy, and I feel like it can be one of those things that erodes a friendship. I feel like for you to be jealous of a friend or maybe envious of a friend and keep the friendship healthy, I feel like you have to be like quite a very emotionally intelligent person. Like you have to recognize that, okay, I feel jealous about this girl because I want what she has, but you're not going to let it disrupt the friendship. I feel like that's really, really rare, and probably something that only happens with like older women, 20s, 30s, 40s maybe. Even then, I feel like there's a lot of people probably in their 30s that would feel jealous of a friend and struggle to have a healthy friendship. Meanwhile, girls don't have that acceptance. If you are a girl who shines, the other girls would try to reduce it and by making you feel lonely and make you put more effort into the relationship and push you to a literal doormat mode. When the girls who are good, they connect with you emotionally, understand your needs, and they would want you to live in a world of girls, which is kind of fun. It's interesting that boys can be jealous of other boys and just simply move on, because I was actually reading some research about some of the dynamics behind like male dominated groups. Like, you know, that like the bro culture of a sports team, or like that like finance bro like aesthetic of like men in a male dominated department. Like, I was reading about some of the male friendship dynamics that we don't often see or talk about that lie beneath the surface, and it was saying competition is a huge contributing factor, to the extent competition is what men have, whereas connection is what women have. The research is by a woman called Rachel R. Bird, and it's called Welcome to the Men's Club. I'll link it down below. The research was talking about how in a lot of male-dominated spaces, talking about your emotions is literally like forbidden. Like, that is like social suicide. You do not talk about how you feel, your emotions, feelings. Like, that is not a thing. I'm thinking of making a whole entire video on this. Like, let me know if you'd want a truth about male friendships video, like a peek behind the curtain, what the research says, what like real men think. Because I feel like when you're on the internet and you're, you know, talking, you're like looking at content on male, female, social dynamics, it's often very divisive. It's often very black and white. Oh, men are the reason why this, women are the fault because of this. And it's just like, let's not put each other against each other. Let's not blame each other for the reason why the world is the way it is. When it comes to friendships, a lot of the time, you know, men are trying to impress other men. Like, naturally, they want to impress the people that they're around. And I think if you're not, you know, a guy that wants to compete, or you're not competitive, like sometimes you can feel a little bit like, I don't know, left behind, or not as manly enough. My closest friends are a group of guys I've known from high school, and we've all been friends for almost a decade now. The friendships are so comfortable to be in, and there are rarely any dramas. Conversation is mostly banter or talking about a shared interest. We will rarely talk about our personal lives unless it's a funny story, and we will never discuss how we are feeling emotionally. The more I was reading your comments, thank you so much to everyone who actually submitted a comment, the more I was thinking like this, okay, this is like the norm, like a scary norm. I understand that this is just how it is, like this is just how men work, this is just the norm, but I actually can't fathom it, because as a woman, like, we just talk about our feelings. It's not like we're just opening up a therapy session every day and every time we talk to each other it's like counseling, but like, I don't know, you talk about, I don't know, you just talk about how your day was, how you're feeling about work. You're kind of like catching each other up on each other's lives. Like, I don't know, like seeing your friends, I compare it to like you're watching a show and you press pause the moment you leave each other, then the moment you catch up again you're pressing play. Like, I need to like catch you up on this season that is my life, and I'm telling you all the details, and then we'll press pause and I'll catch you up again. I've always been fascinated by the idea of physical touch in male friendships, especially where I'm from. It signifies homosexuality, unless handshakes or greetings, which is why I barely see male friends hugging or holding hands unless in movies. I don't do that myself, mostly to avoid unwanted attention, while for female friendships, they have the liberty to hold each other or even hug each other. Do you know what? Men's internalized homophobia, I feel like, will be the death of them at times. And it's weird because I feel like it's only like a positive thing amongst men to like be hyper masculine to the point of internalized homophobia, whereas for everyone else it's almost a sign of weakness. Like, you can't even congratulate your friend without putting a disclaimer saying no homo. Like, it was no one even thought of that. No one's mind went there. Your mind was the only one that went there, and now you can't even fully congratulate your friend. Like, you can't fully express how proud you are. You have to like dull it down and be like, no homo. Male friendships don't feel as genuine and deep as female friendships to me, to be honest. Men tend to be too supportive of each other in rights and wrongs and rarely call each other out, which is why I see friendships, childhood for example, last longer with guys even when their personalities change as they grow, as they don't mind being with people different than them, and even if their views and opinions are totally opposite. To be fair, this is a good point, because I mean, it happens quite often online where, say, a guy will do something wrong, their friends will back them, and then there'll almost be a bit of uproar as to like, how are you still supporting this man? But then again, you know, I think women can make friends easier, I think, because we do talk about our emotions quite a bit more, and we're okay being vulnerable. Like, it's not a weakness to talk about how you feel, good or bad. I guess we're naturally more open to friendships, whereas I know for guys it is a lot harder to make friends. If anything, from what I hear from my friends, like sometimes, you know, a guy can end up in a position where his friends are actually quite tied to the relationship. Like his friends will become her friends, or, you know, his social life is linked to her social life. So maybe the reason why men are kind of really loyal, friends for 10 years, 15 years, is because they kind of can't let go in a sense. And again, you know, this person said male friendships don't seem as genuine and as deep. Maybe that's another reason why I guess men will stand up for poor behavior. Like their friendship isn't as deep. And this isn't a bashing video by any means. I'm not bashing at all. I'm just like, it all started from a conversation, and then I asked you guys for your thoughts, and now I'm making this video. I'm just like genuinely intrigued, and I'm kind of like trying to make sense of it all. From my experience, men friendships are simpler and revolve around activities, interests, or topics, and the fun part of a friendship in general. And also they're very loyal and communal and not very emotionally deep. On the other hand, female friendships are emotionally driven in every way, for good and the bad. So they tend to go deeper into more serious topics, but they can also be a lot more complicated. I mean, yeah, I think we've discussed that one. Of course, this is just a generalization and it really depends on the people involved. Maybe, yeah, I think this person's used a good word. Like they're simpler and they revolve around activities. That is a male friendship. Not that they're less deep or less genuine. They're just simpler. Like they're just simple people. We both play Dungeons and Dragons and we both play lacrosse. Like, you know, that's the brotherhood. That's just what we do. Wow. But the thing is, I don't know, like the thing is, say you have a male female friendship, it's a bit different because I feel like when I've been friends with males, we do talk about our lives, and actually we do talk about how we feel. Like, I'm thinking of my two main male friends now, and I'm like, we don't really have a shared activity. We have a shared job. Like we're all doctors and we understand each other's lives, schedule, hecticness, and we all have that shared, I guess, interest. But I'm friends with them because I know a lot about them. I don't know their birthdays, but if I check Facebook, I'll find out. Do I know their personal life story? Yeah, I do. Like, I know a lot about them. I wouldn't be friends with them if I didn't. That's interesting then. So when it becomes male, there's, you know, simple, it's less deep, less emotionally deep. But then the moment it's male to female, I think it is more deep. I think it is more personal. This is interesting. With that being said, do not equate longevity to healthiness in a friend group. People are supposed to change and people are supposed to drift from one another as they become and change and develop. No drama does not equal a healthy friendship. Well, that is a good place to end the video on, because I certainly agree. Just because you've had a 12-year friendship does not by any means mean it's a good friendship. For example, I meet elderly couples all the time that have been married 62 years, 65 years, and I'm like blown away, like, wow, that is, you know, three of my lifetimes nearly that you've been just married, let alone alive. However, oftentimes when I meet them, sometimes they're super cute and they're super, like, you know, loved up still, or they're like, you can tell that they do love each other. Other times though, it does feel like they're just like, oh yeah, you know, I put up with him, or, you know, I put up with her, and the vibe isn't necessarily happy. I think longevity doesn't always equate to happiness, but it can be a good marker of like loyalty on both sides. So that is male versus female friendships. So that is the difference between male and female friendships. What are your thoughts in the comments below? Let's keep the conversation going. I'd love to know what you think. Again, not a bashing video at all. I am just perplexed, bamboozled, surprised, and now understanding of how male friendships work. I actually want to like kind of find out a bit more about this. I'm so intrigued. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And on the topic of friendships, if you're watching this video, you might want to watch my You Don't Need Friends, You Just Need Connection video, where I was talking about how sometimes the antidote to loneliness isn't necessarily making a whole bunch of new friends, but actually building more connection with people, because friendship and connection are different, kind of like we've touched on today. So if you're looking for something to watch next, it should definitely be this.